Hello YouTube, this is the Manly Man Can. Tonight we're going to do a brewing video for the brew kit. We have a winter dark ale to do tonight. To make it more of a Christmas theme, we have 20 grams of gingerbread spice here. We're going to add about 10 grams or so to the wort once it's removed from the heat, and that will give it the little Christmas spice to it and give it a nice little punch. The kit here includes the fermenter. We have some no rinse cleanser. We have our pot, some water to add to it, and I have a bowl I'm going to use. I use this personally just for pouring the wort from the pot into the fermenters. It has a nice little spout spigot here, so it can go in there cleanly and no mess. Then a spoon to remove the malt from the jar here as we pour it out, and the whisk for once we get to this portion. Doing the sanitizer is very simple. You just simply pour it in and add water. Once you fill up enough water, all you have to do is switch it around and you have a sanitized fermenter. In the next step, we'll show you how to add the malt to the boiling water. All right, thank you. And we're back. We're ready to add the malt to the boiling water. What you want to do is turn off the water and remove it from the heat. So all you're going to have to do is move it back just a little bit, flames off. I've added a warm paper towel to put on the jar here. What it's going to do is help the malt exit the can much faster and cleaner. You want to get about 95% out at the very minimum. I always shoot for like 95 or 99, 98% of your malt out of here. So all you have to do is just spoon it in. Just make sure you pour it right in the middle because you don't want to scorch it on the hot pot here. And we'll be back in a few with some more steps. And we're back. We are just going to add the gingerbread spice here. All I'm going to do is eyeball this because I'm going to mix it in and then give it a taste, make sure we're good to go before we continue on here. So here we go. And that should be good enough for now. We'll give it a good mix. We're going to make sure all the stuff's off the bottom of the pot here for a few reasons. You want your mix to be good and have a good mix of beer. Also, anything left inside the pot, you're going to mess up the yeast forming inside the fermenting container. And the next step, we'll be pouring the, we now have actual wort here, which is the name for beer before it's fermented, is all it's what it means. We're going to add this into the fermenter. Once we add, the next step we have to add water up to 4 quarts, and then pour the wort inside there, which like I explained earlier, I'm going to go from that bowl into the fermenter again, and then add more water, and then we'll add yeast, and that's it. But I'll show you those steps in a second here, as soon as we're done mixing this up. All right. Alright, now we've added the gingerbread. All we have to do is add this to my bowl here. Now this portion, you're going to have a little bit left over in the bottom, but that's not too bad and it's pretty normal. Now we have it ready for the bowl. Now I've added 4 quarts of water. We have the bowl with my spout here. All I have to do is add that into here. And then once I add that into there, I'm going to add more water to get to the 8.5 quart mark, which is on the kit, you'll see. And then I'm going to give it a nice little whisk. And once that's done, all we have to do is add the yeast and we're done. Now I just have to add more water. And now we have what we call the wort inside the keg. Wort is the beer without the fermentation, obviously. All we have to do now is give it a good whisk. I've added water up to 8.5 quarts. Whisk it up here. I already gave some whisk to it, so it's already pretty ready to go. Now, the magical piece of yeast. All I have to do is add this to it, screw the top on, and we'll have beer in 2 weeks. Just kind of sprinkle it on there. Now, a couple things about storage. You want to keep this in a good room temperature storage. It's about 68 and 72 degrees. You can go with 65 to 75 degrees really. Just make sure it's in a nice, cool, dry area where it's not going to get too hot or too cold. The basement and the northern states of it's going to be a little too cold in the winter, and then outside it'll be too hot in the summer. So you just got to find your spot to let the fermenting happen. Now let's go over the steps again. Make sure you keep everything clean as you go throughout this whole thing. Any kind of contamination will make will ruin your good alcohol content. Once the yeast could actually die from the contamination there. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple kit, easy to use. You can add a couple of things to it, like I did my gingerbread. I've added sugar to another mix before to add more alcohol content to the overall mix. It's easy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and please visit themailingmankenonline.com.